Hey everybody, I am back with a request, and this time is for Janet Jackson. Um, she has a new album coming out, Black Diamond. Um, I hope I said that right. Yeah, I think it's Black Diamond. Yeah. Okay. So you wanted to know if this album will be successful. Why did she? Why is she doing the album right now, or why she wanted to do it? And you want to take a look at her love life. And I also wanted to personally look into where she was at spiritually because of um, she has had many repeated patterns. She has had different cycles. She has experienced super traumas and different transitions, and she has went to from one religion, I'm assuming, to the other, and there's so many different cultures and variables. She had a colorful life so far, and also private and successful. I mean, think about it. From Jehovah Witness to this open spiritual person, and then, hey, because of all of that, I wanted to see where she was at spiritually, and I felt like, man, we got hope. I'm talking about like hope in life. There will come a time when we completely get out of debt, that debt of being in places that we that wasn't good for our higher self. Um, there, that does come a time in life when we just get on track and walk in our journey, and we are no longer hindered by the things from before. Okay, so let's just go. Janet Jackson. Janet is all about ending these chapters that I'm talking about. I mean, it's so many. She has went and been a part of so many different worlds. It feels like she lived in so many different places on Earth. She has definitely explored the land and even adapted to many different things across the world. Um, it feels like she lives in a Dominican Republic, and she also lives in Jersey. It just feels like she has lived many places and adapted many. She is well lived at this point, and she is ending a lot of things in her life. It feels like she finished. It feels like Puffy. When I did Sean Puffy Combs, Love, he changed his name all the time. When I did his messages for his party, you can go back and look at it. The energy feels the same. When I did the party, and what was this birthday party all about, out the blue, very far from his birthday date, all that good stuff that was going on inside of those messages, you can roll back and look at it. It had this feeling of, I'm done. I'm done. I paid my debt. I don't owe you all anything else. And that's how this feels with her. She has paid her debt. She is done. She no longer have to use or utilize or surrender or sacrifice to another human being because of her own lack and voids. This makes you want to get older, if you can see what I see. So yeah, she's ended many chapters. She is very, very connected spiritually. She's preparing for a whole new life. And you think like we still get new lives? You doggone right we do. She's preparing for another new life. It is coming very, very soon. She's walking into it. She's still shedding some things. She's still closing doors on some things. She has her foot on top of her past. She has her foot on top of her flesh too, and her weakness, and all of those different traits and personality issues and identity issues. She got her foot on top of all of that because she'll be taking a leap very soon. I don't know how soon that is though, but I'm going to say very soon, probably sometime by the end of the year, she will have a whole new cycle of life, and it's a beautiful thing. So congratulations to her. She has found what she lacked, and she has learned how to feel it herself. This is like that moment when I can say something that sounds like this. She is her own soulmate. She found her soulmate. She found it. And she's releasing a lot of burdens and pains and stresses from before. And a lot of these burdens and hindrance in life was just from her. She blames herself. She put herself as the person who created a lot of these things that happen. So she's not ending the chapter with pointing fingers. She ends this chapter saying, I did it. I did it, I allowed it, I accepted it, and I've been doing it since I was little. And I know it and I get it. I truly, truly feel like Janet has been in some serious counseling or some serious meditation and spirituality awareness and cleansings. She has seriously been digging out the dead from the core, coming to the outside of herself. And she doesn't blame anybody for these hindrance and bound things that happen to her. She accepts it. She is her authentic self. She said, I've been doing this since I was little. I came here with some of this upon me. I've noticed this. This has been a part of me for a long time. She is really taking accountability for her book, the book of life. She has taken accountability for that. And it was all wrapped around family. She knows that it's the way she interacted, the way she accepted, the way her perspective was about family. She know family was the core and the vice for everything that she has ever experienced. And I just heard this is not her first child. We always believed that though, or we always been curious, but I just heard it clearly. This is not her first child, but this is the first family, the fresh, new, healthy family. This child is a spiritual awakening in her life, and this is her family. And then I heard that she had another child. I heard that. This is not her first child. That's exactly what I heard. So this was all based around family. She know that that's what the core of everything was, and it's so amazing because I can feel like she's been running away from desiring children, wanting children, wanting to be responsible for someone else. She's been running from that probably all her life, and now it's the very thing that helped her get to this next place in life. So this is a beautiful blessing for her. Um, we already know the stories. We can imagine the family stories. It was her against the family. So she wasn't in the family. It was her against the family, her versus the family. And she has found answers to a lot of those things. Something like this. It feels like she would say something like, I was trying to get the family to heal, become. I was trying to protect the family. I was trying to better the family. I was trying to give guidance. I was trying to make a family with the family. And then I think she found out that through all of that hustle and bustle and work and stretching herself thin and trying to sacrifice herself to make her family better and protected, she realized that she wasn't even in the family. Like, I'm not even experienced the family that I want to experience, but I'm working on behalf of them like an ambassador. But yet I'm not involved. So she wasn't feeling like a member in the family, but yet working for the family. So a lot of that heartbreaking stuff has came up to the surface again, which is needed. She understands that it was that she felt that she didn't have the connection to the family. She understands how things didn't connect. She understands why there was knots and bows and ties, and how things was knotted up inside the family. By her being on the outside of her family watching it, she learned a lot about the heartbreak and pain, about the connections with everyone, and she learned a lot of different layers to love and relationships, and she has came full circle. Now she's able to be a part of the Ten of Cups and not just look at it and not just be in charge over it or hover over it. She's inside of it now. So now she has two families, if that makes any sense to you. So that is great. She is definitely closing a lot of doors, closing a lot of chapters. Um, she has definitely walked away from many things, finding her strength, understanding that she does not have to offer her soul to be noticed. She doesn't have to share her weakness to be treated better or loved on more or protected more. She doesn't need pity. She's walked away from a lot of those unhealthy traits and behaviors. Um, I wouldn't say that she's manipulative, but she may have been in times with different encounters with other people by spitting up, throwing up, sharing the weak parts of her to get more love, attention, affection, and protection from the people around her. That's not needed anymore. She's great. She's fine. And she's taken action to look at those things in the past so that she can release them. Someone is working with her and they got her on track. I tell people this all the time. We know about the stigma thing with having a counselor, having a spiritual advisor. I get it, I get it, I get it. But I'm telling you, these are the times. And I just heard Drew Hill song. These are the times we all wish for. But anyway, we are going into a time where counsel is going to be so friendly. And even myself, this is my second channel, and I'm a spiritual advisor to many people at my other channel. And I can feel her advisor. I can feel them walking her through these steps. I can feel it. If you've been sticking with me so far spiritually, first things first, she's recognized what need to end. She recognized what was good behavior and bad behavior. She's recognized what the cancerous cells are, the dead things that's eating up things and deteriorating things, and the things that's fruitful and multiply. That's the first step that she went through. And then she went to the stage where you look at the core. What was your vice? And she knows it was the family. And what did you learn inside of the family? How did the pain affect your relationships with the people? And how did these people relationships become affected? So she went through the layers of what she saw on the outside to realize that a lot of that really wasn't what it seemed to be. And when the forgiveness and the release came, she found out that she wasn't even involved as a regular family member. She found out that she was being a correctional officer more than anything. So you could just hear the stages of the spirituality brackets that she went through. And then when she was able to release, forgive, and accept that we're not perfect and we all have some fault, including me, even though mine might not be as worse in quotation marks as someone else or the other family members, she still chose to give mercy and she began a new healthy connection. Then it's about maintaining right now. I maintain that I will continue to walk away from things that don't serve me. That's the maintenance part of spirituality. So, and then with the maintenance that she have here, her alert signs that she look for is making sure that if those things come up to continue to let it go. She puts action into anything that pops up. Process, let it go. Process, let it go. She is working with someone, or she could just be working with God alone. But this is like perfection. This is work. This is movement. This is work. Owning herself, owning situations, I'm not saying that things is perfect for her because she hasn't even walked into this new world yet. She's about to. Right now, she's still is using a, how can I say this? She's still using training wheels right now. So she's not that far out of it, because if you still have to put these alerts in front of you and reminders and things like that, that lets you know it's not engraved in her heart yet. She hasn't became one with the tools. She's using the tools, but wait till the tools become a part of her fingers, and the tools turn into her tongue, and the tools turn into her eyesight and her thinking, and then she becomes what she, I hope that I didn't go in a way that you didn't understand. So yeah, in the process of all of that, she's also scheduled time for herself, and that's what she's doing right now. Scheduling time with herself, dealing with herself, becoming her best self, loving on herself, doing things that she probably never did before. Like what? Like getting on a swing, getting on a swing at the playground, like that. And then she's still dealing with the present conflict of today, and dealing with the changes and making changes to deal with the present issues. Now, when I got to this point, I do want to tell you something. I still feel like she's bound by maybe her label or something like that. I still think that she has about 3 more years or 3 more projects she has to complete. I kept hearing three, and it felt very strong and aggressive and mandatory. She can't wait until that part is over. It feels like she's still held responsible to work this job. She love it. It's great for her. She's using it as an exercise and a duty, but she still do have a little bondage here. I can feel the bondage. Even when you wanted to know about the album, and why did she do it, we could jump over there and then jump back. She had no choice. It's like I had to get it out. I had to do it. I was stressing back and forth mentally. I couldn't push it off any longer. The time was up. It just feels like she had to make this happen in this season. Like I had to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't even want to speak. I didn't even want to come out and talk in the public yet. I didn't even want to express myself in this way yet. Disappointed. I really don't want to do this album. And you would think that that wouldn't be the case, but it is. And it's only because the timing. I feel like the timing was pushed on her. It's not about, do I want to sing, do I want to tour, do I want to do this work? Yes, of course, I'll be doing this forever. But I didn't want to do this right now. But she did. And she's dealing with the contractions of that. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like she didn't even want to sing. She didn't even want to open her mouth to do this album. She didn't really want to do this album right now. It feels like she wanted to do this album, but maybe in 9 months, maybe in a year. It was some she wanted more time, but it feels like she didn't have that power to say that or do that. So she's grudgingly making this happen, but she's grateful and thankful at the same time. This is the moment when you work a job. When you go to work when you don't feel like going, that's what she's doing at this moment. Don't really feel like going, but she's gonna knock it out. Knock it out. You wanted to know if this will be a successful album. Well, as I say before, like when I talked about Beyonce and the J Lo's and people who broke big brackets of success, and then you ask, is their stuff successful now? Based on me and who we are, yes. But is it successful for a Janet Jackson success? No. It won't be successful on that level. It actually would be, the numbers should be somewhere around, and the success level should be somewhere around the last album or maybe the last single, something like that. But I'm kind of picking up like it's going to be great, it's going to be fine, it's going to do well. That's not even her focus. She doesn't really care about that. It is going to be as good as the last time she came out with her last single or album. And that is what? That's successful. She's Janet Jackson. Okay? So I do feel like she's still bound to some things in the present. Maybe she's still dealing with some issues with the child's father right there. I still see some type of bound problems going on in the present. But that past is working out very, very well. And that maintenance and alert and writing those notes on her wall, that stuff is helping. She is working. There is someone helping her. Get you a spiritual advisor. I'm telling you guys. Um, if you need personal assistance and services, always email me and let me know. It'll change your life. I do it all the time. It's so rewarding. You'll be surprised how things open up for you. I'm here if you need me. Okay, so back to this, and I just had to say that because that's just not to push anything, because I'm really just here to have fun on this one on this channel, but it's just I know the importance of it and I see the growth and yeah. So she's still working on some issues with that. Still got some legal things going on. Still got some present things happening. She trying to move away from it, but she's going to be stuck with it for a while. It's still happening. But she's in good spirits. She believes that she will win. She believes she'll be free from whatever these little bondage things is around her. They're not very heavy. Whatever issues she have in music and whatever issues she have in her personal life with the child's father, those little things going to be worked out very soon. There's a promise here. There is a overcoming energy here. So she's going to be doing great real soon. Clarity is coming. She will be able to stand alone. She will be in authority of her life in all areas very soon. I'm going to say probably I just saw 2 2 deuce deuce. I don't know what the heck that's all about. Maybe in 2 years, or 2 years for music clarity, and 2 years for personal parenting issues clarity. I saw deuce deuce 2 2. So within the next 4 years, a lot of authority is going to come in. Maybe that's when that new world starts. That whole entire new world starts. I give her about 4 years, and um, she may come out and do something totally different. And I just actually saw food. Maybe that's something she's working on in the background. I just saw food. I just saw food. I saw her touching food. I don't know if she's a cook, but maybe that's something she's getting into. Maybe she's getting into some food and healthy living type stuff. Yeah, very possible. Very, very possible. I felt like 3 more albums, and I felt like 2 more years of working out personal issues, 2 more years and working out business label issues, maybe. Yeah, things going great for her right now. Love. Now, you know she's always tricky when it comes to love. She's still dealing with the fear of that past partner. But I get love coming in for her. I sure do. I sure do. She's already connected to someone. Maybe this love elevates. Maybe the confession comes. Maybe more direction comes. But right now, when it comes to love, it's all about her self-worth, and it's all about making sure she's in charge and have authority over her life. She does not want to be controlled, even though she gave permission. She doesn't want to go through this controlling nature again. She never want to be with another abuser. She never wants to be with another controlling person. She never want. That's not attracted to her no more. They used to be attracted to her. Control. Yeah, very submissive when it comes to love. Very submissive by choice and by permission. But she doesn't want to be with this person like this again. She don't want that no more. She made a decision that she do not want that type of relationship. She does not want to reunite with this judging type person, with this warden type spirit. She doesn't want to be with that type of person. Very, very strong. So she's not looking for the bad boy, or looking for the strong man, or looking for the protector. That's not what she's looking for anymore. She got that. She's able to do that for herself. The decision that she's making right now in love is to receive true love, is to receive honesty, is to receive balance. She has someone in mind already. I think she's already, yeah, it's a new beginning here. Yeah, she already got somebody in mind. Yeah, she sure do. She want to start a fresh thing with someone else. She's not going to be able to do it too quickly, but she definitely has love on her mind. Already showing love and in love already. I feel like she want a new beginning with someone that she knows already. I think she figured the person out. But if she is her own soulmate, this person could be her. She want to offer love in a new way and start a new beginning. But she's being stopped with this tower and making that happen right now. She's being protected. And that tower that's being restricted from this type of love that she want to give, I think it's for her protection, because I heard two, and she might need those 2 to 4 years to get more things together. So if she is with someone and it feels like she is, um, they have to take it slow according to her spiritual journey. Certain things that makes a relationship more finalized and concrete and more intense is being prevented. It can't happen right now. It has to go at a certain pace. I think she's realizing it too. So if she wanted to get married, it's like she's being advised not to. If she wanted to move in, she's being advised not to. She's being advised not to go too deeply with the love of her choice. And she has a choice here. Very passionate about the person, intimate, very sexual. This can be her thoughts. Yeah. This person. Yeah, this person is very stable and strong. Hard worker. Brings happiness and joy to her. They're in charge, but they're in charge of themselves, and they just share love with her. And she wants to share love with them. I believe she got this person already. I really do. I really do. She knows them. She's in a relationship. She's in a relationship that must go very slow right now. I wish I was able to see a person. I would have to take this and turn it into a love message. We can do that another time. But I do feel like she know already, because I have her offering the love. I have her offering it. Okay? So, she's fine. Okay? Alright. That was fun. It makes me feel better about getting older. If you do your work. If you do the work. Okay. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.